We're doing more livery gradings because that was the last video that got 10k. So I'm leeching off that. I know I like recycling content. Well, I can turn this into a series. Maybe I'll rank the 2014 to 2016 regulations next. Who knows? But here we go. Ranking the 2017 regulations. Also, some liveries won't be included. Like the Renault and Red Bull. Like some of the Renault and Red Bulls because they look too similar to each other. Like the livery is the same. I'm not ranking the chassis, I'm ranking the livery. And if you want to do these yourself, I'll leave the link of the tier list in the description and post on your Instagram story and tag me in it so you can be included in the next grading video. So anyways, here we go. Let's get into the video. First, we have the 2017 preseason testing Force India D, or that's better. Yeah, it's in the D tier. I mean, it's just gray, bland, and uninspiring. I know I like the 2014 to 2016 Force India, which is pretty much the same livery, but it just doesn't work on the new chassis. However, the 2017 Force India that was actually used throughout the season is S tier. I don't want to hear anything else from anybody. I'm pretty sure it was the first pink F1 car since the Brabham BT60. And look at how they integrated the BWT sponsorship with all those bubbles. And matte pink. Matte pink. Oh, I can't tell if it's actually matte or if it's glossy, but if it's matte, it just bumps up the S tier even more. This car is beautiful. Straight S tier. Okay, we have another livery that changed mid-season. The Haas back in 2017. It's lagging. I love lag. So this was the early season Haas and this was the late season Haas. Okay, early season I think it's a solid C tier and the late season is a D tier. I mean, when it started the season, it had the primary colors of racing, gray, white, black, and red. You cannot go wrong with that. And late in the season, the more gray took over the car, some red was taken out, and it just looks a lot more bland and uninspiring. It looked like a 1940s Charlie Chaplin film, whereas the early season had a lot more color to it and a bit more brightness. So yeah, the 2017 Haas is above, but it's not an amazing car. Certainly not as good as the 2018 Haas. Yes, we're going to do back-to-back Haas cars. This goes in the A tier, in my opinion. I think that is the best-looking Haas F1 car. Debatably better looking than the 2022 Haas, I might say myself. Although the chassis of the 2022 Haas looks sleeker. I will agree on that, even though I'm a prime defender of the 2017 regulations being better than the 2022 regulations. Yeah, the 2022 Haas is the greatest looking Haas of all time. But that's not in this list because no, it's not part of this set of regulations. So I'm going to have to put the 2018 Haas in the A tier. And we're going to rank the 2018 Haas again. You have the 2017 Ferrari because Haas pretty much recycle parts from Ferrari. I don't think they do that anymore because I'm pretty sure they're copying Red Bull recently, so... Well, actually, every car in 2024 was a copy of the RB19. But we have the 2017 Ferrari. Favorite Ferrari of the V6 era. Next question. I don't even need to talk much, do I? It was the last ever Ferrari F1 car that had primarily white accents instead of black accents. I know they brought back the white accents, but that was mainly for the HP sponsorship, and it doesn't work as great as the old one. But yeah, back to the point, the 2017 Ferrari, one of the most beautiful cars of the V6 era. I think one of the most beautiful Ferraris of all time. It was their 70th anniversary car, although the 70th anniversary logo doesn't really look that good on the engine cover. But still, it's an amazing car overall, as well as I think they were the most creative with their shark fin in 2017. Or maybe there's another team that we haven't glossed through yet. But yeah, the 2017 Ferrari, best looking Ferrari of the V6 era, and it's in the S tier. Alright, we're gonna rank the Haas next. We're gonna just get this out of the way. I like this at the time, but yeah, I don't really want to talk about that guy right now. So, in the bleach tier. Okay, which one do I put next? I will put the Renault. Now, you might think, where are the 4 other Renaults on this list? Well, they're not here because it's pretty much the same livery, so I picked my personal favorite out of all of them, the RS18. I mean, what can I say? It looks mean, it looks like it's gonna hunt you down, although its pace wasn't really there, and Nico Hülkenberg carried throughout the season. You know, Renault nailed their livery philosophy with yellow on the front, black on the side, and I think this was the best looking version of that, and it goes in the A tier. And Mercedes actually copied their livery philosophy with their 2024 car. It's silver from the front and black from the sides, although it doesn't really work as well. We're gonna go back to Force India. Here's a 2018 Force India. B tier. It's certainly a downgrade from their 2017 car. I like the pink more on the 2017, like the shade of pink they used. I don't know if there's a difference, but with my eyes, I can definitely see a difference. And yeah, I certainly added a lot more white. I think pink looks better contrasted against hot pink or black, because yeah, contrasting colors. White and pink are two bright colors. They don't really contrast well together. But you know, it's not bad. Certainly not an ugly car. So it'd have to go in the B tier. Although I kind of want to switch the 2017 Haas with that one now. So, you know what? Yeah, 2017 Haas goes here. 2017 early season Haas goes here. Next, we have the Toro Rosso now. Again, Toro Rosso pretty much used the same looking car from 2017 to 2019. So I picked the 2017 one because it's the sleekest looking one out of them all. What can I say? What else can I say about the Toro Rosso from 2017, or the Toro Rosso in that time period? You know, it was a nice rebrand away from their navy colors, although I do prefer the navy a lot more, but it's still a good rebrand, and I like the 2017 one a lot. First of all, chassis is super sleek, and I like that they still use the old suits even though the livery is different, because the contrast is just amazing with that. And it was also easier to tell this apart from the Red Bull, because some people who are new to F1 will see a Toro Rosso and will see a Red Bull and will think they're the same car. But yeah, I think this car is beautiful. I don't really need to say a lot. It's on the S tier. Actually, I'm kind of thinking, why did I include 4 Alfa Romeos? Because these two are almost the same. It's just that this has a different snake logo on the engine cover and different paint job on the engine cover as well. Like, different paint finish, I mean. And this is just the inverted colors of this one. We're gonna rank them all together right now, just to get that quickly out the way. 2018, I'll have to give it the B tier. 2019. Well, I think the same. No, actually, no. Right, 2018 goes into C, 2019 is B. Actually, I'll bump up 2019 to A. I'll put 2020 in B, and then their 2021 car, I don't know why there's 2. I think B. I think that's a fair ranking, don't you? No, actually, A tier as well. I really like the inverted colors and the white color scheme. Yummy. Also, Robert Kubica's last ever F1 car. I think that's fair. I think that's fair ranking of the Alfa Romeo Sauber. We have the 2021 Williams here. Yeah, we can forget about that one. It looks like vomit. The engine cover looked like a 5-year-old's painting, and I don't know why there were like random lines of yellow on the nose. That didn't make sense for me at all. And remember the leaked like augmented reality photo of that car? Although Williams have redeemed themselves over the past few years, because since 2022 their liveries has just been getting better and better, and even though they haven't released 2025's car yet, I think it's going to be similar, but with the Santander sponsorship, because you've seen Carlos Sainz go out on track already and you saw the Santander sponsorship on the car. It elevates the livery, I'm just saying. But back to the 2021 car, this looked like vomit and the kid puked on it, so yeah, F tier. Okay, since there's 2 special liveries beside each other, I will rank them at the same time. And I completely forgot about the Mugello Ferrari special livery. Give me a minute. There you go, we got them all here now. I'm gonna make a lot of enemies today because I'm not really a big fan of all of these liveries. We'll start off with the Mercedes. They should have made the car all white. I don't care what you think. Not a big fan of how this car looks. The race was even worse. It was a complete disaster. And when you look at the side profile, it just doesn't make sense. Again, it's not a bad looking car, but I prefer the normal W10 over this one. Might be making a few enemies today. C tier. The RB16B from the Turkish Grand Prix, B tier. I don't think it's that amazing as how everyone perceives it to be, because in the end, you can't really beat out that iconic navy blue Red Bull has resonated itself with. So when they changed the colors, it looked good at first because it was unique, but as time goes on, you just prefer the original much more. Like, if they had that, the white livery throughout the season, I don't really think people would have been a big fan of it. I think they would have preferred to have the navy RB16B instead. And lastly, of the special liveries, the SF1000 from the Mugello Grand Prix. They shouldn't have had that big ass 1000 GP on the engine cover. Or if they wanted to have that, at least make it white. So, and contrasting fonts. It had a retro font on the edge of the side of the shark fin, and it had a modern font on the engine cover. They just don't really match, do they? So this car is not really that impressive to me. You know, Leclerc had a promising start to the race, but in true Ferrari fashion, it fell down. I much prefer the regular SF1000. Yes, controversial opinion, but I didn't put it in this list because the SF90 is pretty much the better looking SF1000, and this goes in the A tier. You know, Ferrari went a bit bold to change up their color. Sometimes it looks orange, and I actually quite like that. And it was the first year they used black accents instead of white accents, and yeah, it looked great at the time, but you know, we all got used to it and we want the white accents back. But you know, still, this car looks amazing. And yeah, it gave us Sebastian Vettel's last win. The onboard looked great too. I think this is one of the best looking onboards of the V6 era. So SF90 in the A tier. Okay, I'm gonna get some of the mid cars out of the way first so that I don't really waste time and talk about them. 2020 Williams, mid, not really that good looking. 2020 Racing Point, I know a lot of people love that livery. It's not that amazing though. 2019 Racing Point, this one looked like a disaster on the engine cover, C tier. Ooh, SF21, this is interesting. So I actually have a love-hate relationship with this car because some weekends we would be good. Not amazing or anything, but good, much better than the previous year. And on some weekends we would be absolutely nowhere. What do I think about this car? Probably B tier. Mid. It's just mid. 2020 Haas, it's pretty much the same as a 2018 Haas, so I think it goes there. Okay, Mercedes W10. I'm about to sound really controversial again, but I think this car looks bland. I think the Niki Lauda Halo car should have been permanent from Monaco onwards because the red adds a nice contrast to it. Every Mercedes from the previous year would have a little bit of red on it, you know, on the numbers and such. This one, however, made the numbers black. And compared to the W11 from Barcelona preseason testing, the Barcelona preseason testing W11 looks much better than that. And it's all because of that Ineos. I like a good contrasting color on a car. This one goes B tier, and the Niki Lauda Halo goes at A tier. Okay, SF71H. This one is an interesting one because it's really just a red car with logos. Not really that much of a livery apart from the shark fin there when they added the white line. But it still looks good. It's certainly a lot better than the SF21. Is it better than the SF90? I'm not sure. Do I think it's a whole tier below the SF90? Again, no, I don't think. I think it looks better than all the cars in the B tier, so A tier. I have to give it the A tier. Although this SF21, I'm gonna have to move it down a tier. Okay, AMR21, the first ever Aston Martin ever since what, the 70s or the 60s? I know people hate this car because of the pink swoosh, but I like the pink swoosh, and I think this car looks magnificent. So yeah. Don't get me wrong, if it had the lime one, it would probably be an S tier, but I don't hate it. I genuinely don't. I really liked it at first, but over the course of the season, it grew down a bit because 2021 had some really, really good looking cars, such as the A521, the first ever Alpine in F1, no doubt in the S tier. You know, that Alpine A on the engine cover going down to the side pods. Chef's kiss. BWT comes in the following year and immediately removes that and ruins the livery. So yeah, A521, beautiful looking car, especially that metallic blue they got. Ah, yes, come on, mate. And Alpine liveries have just been slowly getting worse and worse, and now it looks horrendous. It's a car that not even a mother would love. Not even the own fan base would love, actually. 2018 Williams, enough said, easy A tier. And after further consideration, is the AMR21 really better looking than all the cars in the B tier? I don't think so. So it goes to the B tier. 2021 AlphaTauri or 2020 AlphaTauri. For the longest time, I've been saying I like the AT01 more over the AT02. But now, I have changed my mind. Okay, I'm still conflicted on this. Yep, I don't know. I genuinely don't know which one is better than which, and I think they're better than all the cars below it, so it's in its own tier. I'm conflicted because I genuinely don't know which one I like more between the two of them. They're both unique. They're both unique liveries for sure. I know a lot of people compare the 2021 AlphaTauri to a whale. I see it. I know they like the white rims, but I like the simplicity of the 2020 AlphaTauri a lot. So I don't know what to say. 2017 McLaren. I remember I called this one of my favorite F1 cars of all time in one of my videos, and I was probably higher than Kurt Cobain because this car is mid. And then 2018 McLaren, again another mid McLaren. I'll just put it here. Although I will say the Fernando Alonso one, if it was here, I'd probably put it on the B tier. I don't know why I didn't include it though. Thank you, Kurt, because I feel very stupid. I completely forgot to put the 2019 McLaren and the 2020 McLaren. I don't count the 2021 McLaren because it's the exact same as the 2020 McLaren. If I were to rank it, the 2019 McLaren would probably be in the A tier, and then the 2020 McLaren would be in the B tier. It's the second livery grading video in a row where I forget to put a McLaren. This time it's 2 McLarens. And people are starting to think that I have beef with McLaren. No, I don't. I'm probably going to make a lot of people mad. The 2019 Williams looks good. I don't care what you say. It's a good looking car. I really like the mixture of sky blue, white, and black around the car. Their suits looked impeccable as well. The rocket logo, it integrates beautifully in that car. And the red helmets from both of their drivers, Kubica and Russell, peak. I don't care what you say. This was a really good looking Williams apart from the performance. And every single YouTuber I've watched that graded the 2019 liveries, they call it the worst from 2019. What are they smoking?
Yeah, it's just bad, isn't it? Spray paint, blue. I feel like they had that paint job and kept it so generic, and they were like, all right, then we can just stick any old sponsors, so then Rocket and Rexona.
You gotta get tested for COVID. You have no taste, because this is a good looking car. And I can already smell the comments saying that I'm the one that has to be tested for COVID. Alright, toothpaste Williams. This livery was a mess, but it also looked good. But it's still a mess. B tier. If they refined it just a bit more, it would be in the S tier or maybe the A tier. But then again, we didn't really see it on track. It only was in preseason testing. So I think my ranking will be higher if we actually did see it on track, because I think it would actually look pretty good. Alright, W12, I'm gonna have to put it in the B. Nothing more to it. This livery was just a complete mess. W11, easy S tier. Do I really need to explain myself here? It's simple yet beautiful. That's the best way I can describe this livery. 2017 Sauber, A tier. It celebrated their 25th anniversary in the sport, although it was only their 24th year. And yeah, I like how the gold matches with the white and blue. And it's also Pascal Wehrlein's last ever F1 car. Screw you, Marcus. 2019 Haas. I like a mixture of black and gold, mainly because of LeBron's shoes he used in Game 7 of the 2016 finals. But I wasn't really feeling the 2019 Haas, so I'm gonna have to put it in the B tier. I don't know, it didn't really feel like a Haas car. It felt more like a Lotus car. What do you guys prefer? The VF19 with the rich energy horns or the one without the rich energy horns? The RB16B, so I pretty much just picked the best looking Red Bull chassis from this era. And it's on the A tier, because the Red Bull livery looks good, as always, and it was the only Red Bull from this era that didn't look fat. So that's why I picked the RB16B, so it's in the A tier. And lastly, the Mercedes W09. You know me. I think it needs its own tier. It was between the W09 or the W08, and I think they both have the same livery, but in the end I picked the W09 because it looks sharper, it looks more aggressive than the W08, and I also love the Petronas effect it had on the side pod. I think this looks better than the W10, believe me or not. Or did I say the W10 was the best one earlier? I forgot. I'm really inconsistent with my commentary. And it was also the car that gave us peak Lewis Hamilton. What's not to like about it? So the W09 gets its own tier, and it's above the S tier. So there you go. That's the tier list. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Probably more disagrees than agrees, because a lot of people disagreed with my last tier list. As I said on the intro, I'll leave this tier list in the description so you can do it yourself. And if you do it, send me a message on Instagram showing me your tier list, and I'll include it in the next grading video. Anyways, thanks for watching, and goodbye.